Hello, my pretties. It's the Queen of Lions here, and welcome back to another episode of Shadows and Pretties. So, this is episode 131. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a Christmas movie called Annabelle's Wish. Now, this is a television broadcast, direct to video, animated Christmas movie that involves a young calf who aspires to learn to fly and become one of Santa's reindeer. And this story is about a calf named Annabelle who wants to become a reindeer and, fly with Santa. So this movie came out in 1997. I watched this movie back when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I remember watching this like on, when it was on TV and aired during the Christmas time. Like TV eventually broadcast this later on Fox and some other broadcasting companies later on. Now, this is basically a 54-minute special. It's basically almost an hour. But yeah, with that being the case and with that being said, I'm going to sit here and, well, I'll be explaining about, this movie in case if you guys haven't watched this movie in a long time. If you don't want to get any if you don't want to hear any spoilers, then I recommend you click off this video right now. So let's get started. Now, this is actually based on a story called Clarabelle and the Christmas Cow, which I'll probably maybe be talked about a little bit about that eventually, but it's not really, me talking about that. I'm basically going to be mainly talking about Annabelle's Wish. Now, if you were a kid in the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s, you probably remember watching this on VHS as a kid. I personally have, and I mean it's a pretty good story for what this movie really was. Now Clarabelle the Christmas Cow is basically a kind of like a story that was, published, and appealed to children in 1976. And that's basically what the is basically what Annabelle's Wish has been inspired by. Now, I'm not going to talk about Clarabelle the Christmas Cow because I've not really heard about that, but let's basically say it was inspired by that story. So, let's begin. Now, Annabelle, who is a calf who is born on Christmas Eve on a farming community of Two Bridge, Tennessee. So upon meeting Santa Claus, she becomes fascinated with the reindeer and their ability to fly and wishes to fly herself. Having been granted with the temporary ability to speak, she becomes friends with the farmer Charles's grandson Billy, who is mute from inhaling smoke from the fire that killed his parents. They go sledding with Billy's friend Emily and crash into Gus, Holder's fence. Now those sons, Bucky and Buster, bully Billy over his mutinous, so Charles cannot pay for the fence, so Gus takes Annabelle until Charles can raise the money, which he does by pawning a music box that belonged to his late daughter, which is Billy's mother. Annabelle enjoys summer with Billy and Emily. Of course, winter eventually comes around again, and Bucky and Buster harasses Emily and Billy. Annabelle eventually knocks them down, as the boys lie about the incident about their father, who calls the sheriff, who already knows the truth from the bus driver. Gus sends his sons to their room, and the sheriff talks to him about how his behavior since his wife's death has been affecting on his sons. Billy's aunt Angie instead comes over to calm him and to complete her perfect Christmas, despite not wanting to take him in when his parents died, and her attorney then found her way to take her into custody. But if Billy can overcome his mutinous and start talking again, he could stay with Charles. The animals push Angie's into the car, into the mud, when she spends the night with Charles and Billy. That night, eventually, Santa then comes, and Annabelle starts to ask him to give her the power of speech to Billy, touched by her helplessness, and he agrees. The next morning, Billy finds a present and opening it. He magically gets his voice back, allowing him to stay with Charles. Gus, Bucky, and Buster arrive and apologize for their behavior. Gus also reveals that he bought the music box and gives it to Charles. Angie then falls in love with Gus, and Billy finds that Annabelle has permanently given up her ability to speak so that he can have it. Now, when Billy and Emily have grown up and are married, Santa Claus grants Annabelle's wish to fly by making her one of his reindeer, and it returns her ability to speak, and that's how the movie ends. Now, this is actually a really great story, despite the fact that it's not like an hour or so long movie, like most Christmas movies were. I have to say, it's a really good movie. And I mean, the animation of its own self is like traditionally hand drawn. It's traditionally hand drawn. And I really like the Annabelle character. I think she was pretty neat. She's like a really good outgoing going character. I mean, look at the animation when you watch the movie. I mean, I liked how it was, traditionally hand drawn. And I mean, I like it how the animals look like. I mean, it kind of reminds me, if Disney were to adapt this, which if they ever do, that would be really interesting if Disney were to adapt this movie. That would be quite epic if they ever did. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. When I watched this movie, I actually fell in love with mainly how the movie went out. And I mean, I fell in love with this movie when I was a kid. I like Annabelle. I think she was a really cool character, especially her as an adult reindeer. I really liked her adult reindeer form, but I mainly liked her as a young calf, which I'm not gonna lie, she was pretty cool for what the story really is about. Now, I do like how the concept of it of its own self seemed pretty interesting, as well as everything went out. It's really well made in detail. It's actually pretty good for what this story is. I mean, I love how the concept of it of its own self went out. I love how everything the animation was. I mean, I actually really fell in love with, the characters that were in this. I mean, now this one, I'm going to say this one had mixed reviews from critics and all that. I mean, this was released on VHS and then was eventually released on DVD. It's a really cute movie, and it is a really well heartwarming movie because this involves, Annabelle, who was a young calf but eventually grows up. So the concept of the movie of how Annabelle was young and she grows up. I mean, I like how, she, is a talking animal cuz, let's just say almost in every single movie, like almost every single movie with animals have to involve with talking animals. Like I mean, I think it's pretty neat that they always add, animals that talk and that. I like how animation went out. I do like how I like it how the concept of this of its own self. Now, they eventually released a few merchandise of this movie. Like they released some in books. I think they released some merchandise such as toys like a stuffed animal, I believe. I could be wrong, however, as I have not seen this movie in like a couple years. So, anyways, with that being the case, and with that being said, what do I think of this movie? As a kid, I loved it. As an adult, I still love it. Although I haven't watched this movie in years, so I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie for some time and time for the holidays, since the holidays are coming up. I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch this movie. So, I guess with that said, yeah, the voice acting was pretty well done in this movie, I'm not gonna lie. I love how it was based on the Christmas cow that got inspired to do Annabelle's Wish. I mean, the animation is just really amazing of how they made the characters talk. I mean, the concept of, Billy, not having his voice till the end of the movie, it sounds like a pretty good concept when you first look at this. Now, I'm going to say right now, I miss watching this movie, and I'm really glad I got to watch it again. I think I watched a clip of it, or at least a full movie someone uploaded on YouTube. And if it is still on YouTube, I guess you guys can go and watch this if you haven't. Now, I know this is probably a short Shadows and Pretties episode because this is a short movie, and I mean, I can't really figure out other words to describe how wonderful made this movie was. So, I mean, you guys, if you like this movie, that's fine. That's perfectly cool. If you don't like this movie, that's understandable because I respect your opinion. Like, you can like this movie you want to, you could dislike it. It's basically your opinion. Like, we're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these movies. So, yeah. Anyways, what did you guys think about Annabelle's Wish? Did you enjoy the movie? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make the movie a lot better? Feel free to leave me now with your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I guess I'll see you in the next upload. Peace out.